Good morning. Don't know if we're live yet, but we are going to talk about Cricut Design Space, text and fonts, and things like that. And here's a little something for Sheila Rogers.
You are watching Melody Lane. With me, you're gonna have a great crafting time.
Good morning, everyone. Let's do this first because these people are so important to me. Here's a shout out to a few of the people who support this channel on Patreon. SD, Diane, Lisa, Brianna, Michelle, Angela, Lisa, Wendy, Bonnie, Patricia, Carol, Patricia, Linda, Kim, Saya, Beth, Marion, Diane, Patricia, Kathleen, Sandy, Trish, Christy, Lisa, Jerry, Lindsay, Sonia, Becky, Eva, Allison, Stephanie, Lisa, Brittany, Debbie, Judy, Teresa, Jennifer, Amy, BB, Ron, Bianca, Heather, Margaret, Bridgetta, Millie, Nicole, Tammy, and Kimberly. Thanks, guys. You're awesome. And thank you. A big shout out to my co-sponsors. You guys are amazing. All right, guys. Thank you for letting me share our sponsors and shout outs to the Patreons. If it wasn't for this, I wouldn't be able to do this like I do. Sheila, you make me laugh. Okay, for those of you who are new to my channel, thank you for joining. Please subscribe and click the bell to get notified whenever I go live. We do this class every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So sorry, West Coast, it's only 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning, but you can always watch it later. I have a playlist. There's over 70 videos. A lot of them are repeats. You don't have to watch them all to learn. You only need to watch a few. I show you so much and I answer questions live. I see you guys on Facebook too. I see your questions. If you have questions, please put them in all caps so I can see them better. Some people in the chat may be able to answer them. And if you want, if that's a really important question, I miss some of them. So I want you to post your question in all caps, copy it if you can, and then if I miss it and you really need it answered, paste it again. Because sometimes I can't go back and completely find your questions. A lot of people say, you didn't answer my question. Well, I didn't see it. I'm sorry. So the chat that you see on the screen next to me, right? No, right here. It's backwards to me. This chat right there stays there. There's nothing behind it. Here, let me show you what's behind it. I don't know what's behind it, actually. Where's the chat? Okay. See, it's just more paper. More paper. And when I'm showing Design Space, I'm not putting anything behind that. It's just my desktop screen of my computer. So some people message me that they can't get the chat off and they can't see what's behind it. There's nothing behind it. That chat is to help people who watch the video on YouTube and they can read, not on YouTube, on the TV, so they can read the chat and not have to hold and watch the chat. Lots of questions get answered in the chat, so that's also helpful. And for those of you on Facebook watching this video, you can see what they're chatting on YouTube also. Thank you, Kimberly. Anytime you subscribe or pledge to me on Patreon, your name will be shown on here in Super Chats. Thank you, Bobby and Charmaine and Angela and Jamie. You guys are awesome helpers. And Glenda, she's usually here. And even the people who aren't here aren't my moderators. You guys are awesome. Answering questions. How can I share my project on Design Space with my friends? Why can't I use Curve on iPad? Because it's not available. You just can't. It is showing the live chat. It says top chat, but it's the live chat. There, I just clicked live chat. It never changes for me when I click live chat or top chat, but this window, it says top chat, but it's the live chat. How do I share with, if you just want to share a project with a friend, let's go over to Design Space. Today we're talking about text and fonts and stuff, just because I wanted to come up with something to share. If you missed the video, I went through all of these new cartridge images. We went through all of them. These are all the new ones in the past 2 weeks. If you missed them, you can watch that video on my channel. There, I just went through all the tabs. Okay. Let's start new. Replace. Goodbye, unicorn. Okay, how do you share? Let me show you. Okay, so I have a project here. Okay, let's pretend this is my project. And so I want to share this with a friend. I'm going to you name it. You name it anything you want. You don't have to name it share. It can be named anything. Here, let's just do anything. Thank you, Ronald. Starbucks for Sean. Okay, let me pull this down so you guys can see. Come on. Look how my tabs of Cricut Design Space open. So here's my project. My project is design.cricut.com/#/design/the number. To be honest, all you need is the number. But what I do is I copy that and then I can paste it. I'm pasting it in the chat. And that is how I share it with my friends. If it's something I've uploaded, if I upload a picture, I can't share it. If I upload an SVG, I can't share it. If I used, change this to print. If I use a pattern I uploaded, I can't share it. So this is a pattern that I uploaded. I can share it. I can copy the paste and give it to you, but you will no longer be able to open it. No one else can open it. Hi, Joan. Thank you, Ronell. You guys are so nice. So now if I save it, it says new items added to your project that are not compatible with project sharing. Saving will turn off visible to others. So I'm going to save it. You no longer can click that link that I shared with you because this hasn't uploaded, what's it called? Pattern. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah, for those asking about the chat in the video, there's nothing behind the chat. Okay, so this is how you can print text. What do I want to do? Oh, letter spacing. Oh, I'm like, where are my buttons? There they are. I forgot I hid this. I'm like, I can't see my weld button. Let's see what this does when I weld it. Okay, we're gonna undo. Okay, we're gonna change. So now on the updated design space, it'll show the pattern here. This only shows the S because it's all still editable. I don't know if that's a word. I wonder if I can change that to writing. Yes. Whoops, wrong way. So the best way to learn is to play. That's how I learned how to do design space. Okay, are there questions? Let me go back. When I did use the curve on my computer, I could not write. I don't know why. There's no reason why you can't unless you ungrouped this. So there I curved it. You can curve it any way you want. Let's duplicate this to show you something. Let's ungroup it. So now you cannot curve it. You can't really change the letter spacing because it's only one letter. They are all now separate. See the difference? See, each letter is different. Ronald, that's so sweet. Starbucks for everyone. Ronald, Starbucks for Ronald. You guys are amazing. But this one, I still can do everything because it's not ungrouped. If I group this back together, it's still separate letters. Let's see what happens when I click make it. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Bobby, on Facebook. Okay, see what happened? This moves as one piece because it's never been ungrouped. It's never been attached, welded. These are all just separate letters. It does not know you want them in a certain order. This is a huge question people are always asking when they're new. So we're going to cancel that. Why doesn't it stay the same? I have it grouped together. It's because if you want it to stay the same, you have to either not ungroup it like this one or attach it. So now when we click make it, Ronell, thank you. Are you guys competing with each other? So now it knows to stay the same because you attached it. Grouping only works on this canvas. Nowhere else does grouping work. Okay, how to locate images you purchased in Access. Click on images. Welcome, Johnny. Okay, so we're in images. We're going to click on filter. You can do my images, and it's going to show your images. Or you can just search Cricut Access. So if you subscribe to Cricut Access, everything right here will be free. My images are too, because you own those. You can also click Purchased. I'm going to unclick Cricut Access and just click Purchased. So these will be showing me. Ronald, thank you. These will show me all my purchased images. I own almost all of them. Gee whiz. That's cute. Turn of phrase. Oh yeah, I've had that one a long time. How can I access for all fonts and images when I already have access? Okay. We can change the font on this one because this one is the one that has not been ungrouped. This one, we double click it and the font box does not come on because it's attached, it's been ungrouped. It is no longer a text image. They are all separate. See how they're all separate? This one, where's this one at? Over here. There it is. This one is all on one layer. This whole thing is one layer. This one is different layers. That is why we cannot edit this, because that is the biggest question. Why can't I edit? So, oh, she asked about fonts. So I can change the font because that one has not been ungrouped. And you want fonts in Access. I don't think they have a filter for Access, but you can click on Cricut. So it won't bring in all of the ones that you have. And all the Cricut fonts are all the ones with this little A right here. So see that green A? There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. Did you guys hear my dog snoring? Much better than barking like they did in the last video. They just keep going. I'm only on the E's. There's so many. These are all in Access. Well, no, wait, not all of them. Only the ones with the A. If you don't own them and they're not in Access, they'll have a price next to them. Most of them will. I own these that don't have a price next to them. There were some Martha Stewart ones I didn't own. Oh, Rob and Bob. See, they have the licensed ones are $6.99. If you have Access Premium subscription, you get 50% off of these. And then you own it forever. It just keeps going. I'm only in the S's. And if you want a writing font, you can choose that here. Like, this is how it is normally. So if you're just searching for a writing font, go here first. Click writing. Click on the little arrow here. Go to filter, the top right. Then go down to writing. And then it will only show you the fonts that have writing. There's hundreds. Okay, let me check your chat. Thank you for subscribing. Rose has cartridge linked to Gypsy. How can she get them to Design Space? You'll have to call member care at Cricut. They can help you with that. Hi, Sue. Yes, you guys are all amazing. What is the difference between attach and group? I think I showed that. Group is only for, let me show you with some shapes. Let me change the color just so they're not all the same color so we can see. Okay. Now, for those of you that are new and don't know attach and group, this is the same for fonts or whatever. So I have these three images. They're all separate. See how they're all separate here? They're each on their own layer. Now I'm going to group them. Click group. Now it shows over here that they're in a group. I can hide the whole group, which makes it really easy to group. I can size it as a group so they all stay proportionate. Very important when you have an image that has multiple layers. Okay, you can size it all together. Now I'm going to ungroup. Okay, now I'm going to attach. It changes them all to the same color, and I can also size and move them all the same. Okay. You know what? Let's show. Hold on. Let me just undo. Okay. Where are we at? We're at grouped. I'm going to duplicate these. Okay. This one is grouped. This one is also grouped. Let's ungroup it. So now this one is no longer grouped. We're going to attach it. Attaching puts it on the same mat, so it will stay exactly how it is. Now look at the shape. Look where these are on the canvas. Same place as these. Let's click Make It. Okay, we got those. Now it puts these all on a different mat. This is the single yellow one. It put all of these on the same mat. It did not do that to the grouped images. This was grouped with this one. They're not together. That is the difference. A group only, the only reason you would use group is to move things around here. If you want to hide them all together at the same time. You can do individually also, but that is the difference. All right, I'm looking for questions. I'm not seeing them. All right, I'm going to delete this group and delete the attached. So here you can change the color of the drawing, change the pen type you're using, change the color. These are, because these are attached, they will all be the same. Let's see if I can change the color of one. Oh, I can. Oh, I can because it's drawing. If they were colored images. So I can click it over here in the layers panel and change the color. I can even change the pen. Oh wait, I click here, change the pen to a marker. And then it will, when I go to write these, it will stop and tell me what color pen to put in my machine. Thank you, Diana. Can you explain layer, multi-layer, and flatten? Yes. Okay. Where are those at? In fonts? Okay, filter. So multi-layer means this will show you fonts with multiple layers. I guess I can use any of these really. Some of them have 4 layers. I think this one's only 2. So you can hide the one layer, or one of is a shadow or offset. Some of these have a lot of layers. Oh, folk art is one of my favorites. This is one I use in a lot of my projects. It has 3 layers. I don't always use all 3. Sometimes I don't use the top one. So sometimes I only use that, and it has a really nice offset. The curve is driving me nuts. Is it driving you guys nuts? There we go. We'll just have a slight curve. And we can move the letters together. And we can have that on. We can change the color up here. So I have it highlighted down here, and we change the color up here. Let me click on this one. Let's change the color of that. Thank you for subscribing. So you can do that. And now when we cut this, it's going to cut them all out on different layers. See? Oh, and another thing about attached. So like this writing right here is only going to write on the paper. Nothing's going to cut out. If I want it to write on top of something, this is a huge question people ask. Let's change the background first. So to change the canvas, I'm clicking down here. Then it has the color up here. And I'll just change it to this. I'm going to change this to white. Move this to the back, clicking arrange, send to back. Now I want that to write right there. Let's group it together. Okay, now what's going to happen when I click make it? It's not writing on my paper. My paper is on the next one. Okay, but I grouped it. After this, you should really know group and attached. Okay, instead of grouping it, I'm going to ungroup it. I could keep it grouped, but some people think you have to group and then attach. That's not the case. You don't have to group. Okay, first thing I want to do is select them all, click align and center, because who doesn't want it in the center? Now they're both still selected, I can tell, because these are all there selected in dark, and so is the square. Now we're going to click attach. Now when we click make it, it's on there. It's going to cut that out and write on that. Hopefully that makes sense. And I'm so sorry if I'm all over the place. So this is multi-layer. And I forgot what else you asked about. Is clearing the cache the same as clearing the history? I think someone answered that because I don't know exactly. Gypsy is a really, really old thing that Cricut came out with like 10 years ago that is no longer available, or it's pretty much obsolete. The restocking the cartridge adapter is, I think it's supposed to be next month. You cannot bring things in from one project to another. Sorry guys, I'm reading the chat so I can get the questions. They don't have a most popular list. Oh, multi-layer and flatten. Okay, I knew there was something. Sorry, guys. Okay, flatten. Flatten turns it into a print image. Let's work with this word here. See, these are 3 different layers. If we wanted to print this out and cut this, we can click flatten. Now, let me click it. It's all in one, and it's a cut and print. So when we go, it's too big. I knew it was too big as soon as I clicked the button. That can't be more than 9.25, I think. So it's going to print it and cut out each letter. It's not cutting out a white background. It's cutting out each letter as it is. I'm going to hit cancel. So anytime you flatten something, it automatically turns it into a print. Let's detach this. So remember, we attached that. We're going to borrow this and bring it up here. Going to move it to the back. So now I want this to print out on the paper and just cut out the other paper. What do you think we're going to do? I'm going to make you guys answer. I know there's a little bit of a delay. Yes, Lori, I have beginner video tutorials. But if you have questions, please ask. Okay, I'm seeing some great questions. Okay, so a lot of people are saying attach. It's wrong. You do not attach. If I were to attach this, they would, okay, let's attach it. And I can't really prove to you that it's wrong, but if you want to know what happens, just try it. It looks right? It's going to cut out this white area here and print this, right? It's also going to cut out each letter. Now, I can't prove that to you right now, but it does. Just believe me or try it yourself. Because I attached it, each letter is also going to cut out. When you're doing print, you do not want to attach. So I'm going to detach this. When you're doing print, you want to select it all. So I'm putting my mouse, dragging my mouse over it all so they're both selected, and then I'm going to click flatten. Now it will print this out and cut out only the square. Okay, we're halfway through the class. Have you guys learned something yet? Raise your hand if you learned something. Ooh, Melanie Moore, can you skip mats when cutting a large project? Yes. And how do you use contour with a multi-font? All right, let's do that. Okay, I'm going to undo. You can skip mats. Please, somebody remind me to come back to that. Okay, I undid everything, so it is no longer, it is flat. Let's unflatten it. You want to use contour. And I'm going to go up here and change this from a print to no fill. And now I changed it from a print to a cut. Did you see that? Let me do it again. So this is a print image. It says print, cut, and print. If it says print, it's always going to cut too. We don't want this to print. We want it to only cut. So I went up here under fill and I'm clicking on no fill. Okay, so now it is a cut image. The print went away and you can see cut lines. Somebody wants to know why you cannot use contour on multi-fonts. Let me see this. Okay, because you can only use contoured on a single image layer. These are, even though it doesn't say grouped, they're kind of grouped together. Let me duplicate it so we can keep that together. We'll change the color of this one, just so we know they're two different ones. Okay, so I want to contour this. Let's say I want to contour out some of these cuts. So what I have to do is I can click here and go to Advanced and click Ungroup to Layers. So now each layer is its own thing. And that won't let me contour either. It must be, you have to ungroup the letters, or I could have clicked ungroup. So now, oh, I can't contour. Now I don't know why. Okay, I'm stumped. Why can't I contour that? There's always a reason. I don't know why. I thought we could. Maybe you can't. Oh, can't uncontour. Oh, this one I can't because there's more than one layer. Let's bring that up. Ungroup it. No, it's not letting me. I guess you can't do it. And if you can, please let me know how. Yes, I love this font. I suggest if you're going to buy a font, this is one you can buy. Because you don't have to use the top layer. You can use just these and it's offset. It's a really beautiful font I use in many projects. Lori, can you join 1 month and not the next? Yeah, you can get access for only 1 month. Yeah, it could be because it's a font and not an image that it doesn't let you contour. I guess I never tried that. Okay, somebody on Facebook, sorry, excuse me. Oh, your Patreon. Yeah, you can join for 1 month of Patreon and quit. You can cancel anytime. Some people join for like 30 minutes and quit. There's no way they can possibly get the hundreds of designs that you get in that 30 minutes. So I'm not sure why they do that, but sometimes they do. What was I going to show you? Yeah, maybe the contour changed on the fonts. I'll have to ask Cricut about that. Oh, writing inside the card. Sorry, guys. All right, we're gonna get rid of this. Somebody wants to know how to write inside of a card. So we're gonna make a card. Where's the... Oh, I have to click more because I have it. The width. Oh, let's unlock it. I always forget that. Width, let's do 4.25. And height 5.5. That's an A2 size card. Oh, we want to double it though. We want the width to be 8.5. And we want it to be purple. Let's just say we're going to do a purple card. Okay, bring that down, zoom out. We're going to go to shapes and we're going to add a score line so we know where the center of this card is, and so the score line will do it. If you want it perfect, you can go to more and make it 5.5. I don't do this. Mine are never perfect. And we clicked align and center. So we know that's the middle. If we do this just like this, we want this to score here. If we click make it, who can guess what's going to happen? That score line is on a mat all by itself. So you're not even scoring paper. You're scoring your mat. That's not what we want. So let's group it. This is wrong. Okay, I group it. Now let's hit make it. It did the same thing. Okay, cancel. Okay, now I'm going to ungroup. Just pretend we didn't group. Now I'm going to select it again, and now I'm going to attach. Let's hit make it. Oh, look, it worked. So that is the difference of attach and group. No, you don't want to flatten. Flatten will make it a print image. I don't want to print. Okay, so this is the middle of a card. Now, this side of the card can be the front of the card or the inside of a card. Say you want to write on the inside and outside of a card. The only possible way to do that easily, I mean, you could try to do it and take it off and undo it and flip your paper over. I wouldn't do it. So what I do is make this. I don't even measure this usually. I just want a little frame around that. I want this white. So now I can still have this, the inside or the outside. But if I want to write on the inside of a card and the outside, I normally would put this base layer over here. But when this prints, it's actually on the other side of the paper. And then I want to write here. So let's add some text. Thank you. Okay, I want to put this, I want this to be writing. So I'm going to click right here under style and go to writing. Now, let me show you something else. A mistake people do all the time. Thanks for subscribing. They take this and they just change it to write by going up here to line type. And now write has changed to draw. Draw and write are the exact same thing. So I'm going to click draw. Do you see the difference? It turns, when you click up here to draw, it turns the cut line into a draw line. Now, that's perfectly fine if that's what you want. But if you want the single line, you have to go down here and click writing, and it will change it to the single line. I can double click this, edit that, and I want it centered. So I'm going to go here and go to alignment here. Center that. Now I want this word you closer to thank you. So I'm going to go to line space. Now your line space may be up here on this line. It just all depends on your browser. So we're going to make the line space shorter. I can just hit the arrows like I'm doing, or I could do -2. Ooh, that's 25. I moved the U above the thank you. There we go. So it moves it that way. Another way to do it is I can ungroup to lines. Now this all works whether it's writing font or other font. So now they're two separate, and I can make those, however I want. I can change the color. You guys know I always go to the glitter. We're on purple paper, so I don't know why we're going to see. So click on this one. Let's do marker. Not a lot of choices with marker. That's the washable fabric bed. Let's just do black. Now what's going to happen if I hit make it? Who can guess? Let's hit make it. Look, that's not how I wanted it. Remember, I placed this down here and it was on my card. Okay, let's hit cancel. It didn't do it because I didn't attach it. Okay, now I'm going to make another mistake. Let's select it all and attach. What's going to happen? Attach. Oh no, it made my white paper purple. Do you know what else is going to happen? it's going to cut that out. It's going to cut out a big box out of that piece right there. That is because, let me undo. That is because I grabbed this piece when I wanted to attach. I only want to attach the words and the card. Or if I haven't attached the score line, that too. So you can hide this white paper over here, or you can move it out of the way. But you can just hide it in the layers panel, select it all, and attach. Now bring back that white piece. Now it's still there, but it's behind this because anytime you attach, group, weld, slice, or any of that, it brings it to the front. So let's bring this one forward. And let's hit make it and see what happens. So now it did that on its own, and this will be here. So when I make this card, I would have this be the inside, but it really doesn't matter. And then put other things here. You can write on this card. My monitor just went black for a second. Or put images or anything you want. They did not remove the curved text feature. I just showed that a little bit ago. Why can't you flip the card over vertically so you can write on the inside? This is the inside. Because I say it is. Because when I put this, it can be the out front or the inside. When this cut and comes off the mat, I can fold this so the other side of this is the front and then this is the inside. Or I can fold it so this is the front, and then if I want to write on the inside, I have to do it on a separate paper. Now I can flip this. You're saying flip vertically. That's just going to make it go upside down and backwards. That's not what we want. Flip horizontal, and see, it's going to write backwards. So you can't really flip it. You just have to do it on another paper. Yeah, it just depends on how you fold it. Yay, I just cured your problem. Kathy on Facebook is asking, when you write fonts, it only does the outline of the letters and doesn't fill in the letters. Is there a way to fill in the letters? Not unless you want to color them in yourself. Or you can do the font like this, the single writing. There are fonts. Are these still? No. There are fonts that have some filling in. So there's that. Let me try zigzag. There's more, and I can't remember the names of them. But this is a fun one. So it doesn't like fill it in, but it does color more. It makes it a thicker font. And then there's also mustache. Does anybody know others? I know they're in here. Not mush. And I think it's the capitals. Let me change this to capitals. This is better. See, it kind of writes that so you have more of a shaded area. Yes, you can print and cut on the white piece. Yeah. So let's say you want the, okay, let's do something else real fast. Hello, friend. I am put it in 2 lines. Center, regular. This has 3 layers to it. We're going to do print and cut, so might as well. I don't know why that didn't change. There we go. Oh, it might have changed, but it's so thin. I'm ungrouping to lines. Selecting them both. Putting them down here. Now, let's say I want this to print and cut on this white paper. What you need to do is select this all. Notice I moved that other piece out of the way, and I'm going to flatten. See, and it did. Let me undo that. I want to change this because those are the same color. Let's make it yellow, see what happens. I don't know how pretty that's going to be. Oh, and I only did it to one, not both of them. Well, anyway. So now you can't see this because I have a white background. I can turn the grid lines on. You can see that. So now it's going to print and cut the front of the card and write on that one. Let's hit make it. So it's going to print and it's going to cut around it because I flattened them together. And then it's going to cut this, score this line, and write on here. And this will be the inside of the card. For the Explore one, you need to get an adapter for the pens. It's only $10. If you have access, you get 10% off, and you can use my code. Okay, have you guys learned something new today? Laura on Facebook says she's confused. You can mirror anything, but if you mirror writing, it will be the opposite. Let's bring in an image to draw. So I'm searching draw in images. These will fill it in. I showed these in the last video. So here's a butterfly. It will fill that in, and it'll be darker depending on how small you make it. See how it's darker? Because when something is smaller, the lines are thicker, and when it's bigger, the lines are thinner. But you can, let's just hide the cut part. You can mirror this, you can flip this. Or when you make it, you can mirror it. The word will be opposite. You don't want to mirror a word because it's going to write it backwards unless you want it that way. How do you add slits to hold the paper like the initial project? Let me show you real fast. If like this, I normally glue that on, but if you don't want to do that, go to shapes, get a score line. Always brings it to the top, make it smaller. And right here, it says it's going to score. I'm going to change the score line to a cut line. It is now a solid cut line. And I can bring that here. if I hold down the shift key, it'll stop it at each section. It does this for any word or image or anything you want. I don't know what that is, where we're at. Okay. So let's say we want that there. Actually, we would want it on this to put this in. So I'm going to duplicate this 3 times. It won't be correct. Whoops. I duplicated the wrong thing. Okay, we're going to put one down here. And I would have to do a test cut. We're going to move it the other way now. I would have to do a test cut on this. Actually, that is not right. There. We'll try this. If I was doing this, I would do a test cut. These might need to be moved back further. I don't know. I would have to test cut it and see how it goes. So now we place them there and we have to attach. They have to be attached or they will not cut right there. If you group them, they're not going to be there. You have to attach. So now you'll have the little slits in and you can put this paper, let's arrange it to the front so we can see it, in those little slits. I can tell that's not going to work exactly like it is, but get the idea. Great, Kathy. She made a card yesterday and now she knows what she did wrong. It's okay to make mistakes. You learn from your mistakes. Nobody taught me Design Space. Cricut gave me Design Space before it was actually released because I told them I wanted to do videos and teach people how to use it. They didn't give me directions. They gave me nothing. They gave me the website and access to it. That's it. I had nothing. And I just learned by clicking buttons and hitting what the time it was. It didn't say make it. It said, I don't remember what it said now, but it said other things. And I just had to learn what they all did. I just kept seeing what they did, or I cut it out. I'm like, oh, that didn't work. Let's figure it out. Thank you, Charmaine. Yes, if you guys need help with anything, you can always ask in the comments below if you're watching the replay, and join my group, Cricut Design Space with Melody Lane. Not only can you get my answers, but you can get answers from so many other people. Jamie is my admin in there, Sue Budinsky. They help so much in that group, and just the members alone. Just other members like to help other people. We all like to help each other. There's no stupid questions. There's no negative comments allowed at all. If anyone is negative or mean or bully, they get kicked out of my group. Thank you, Belinda. Yes, it's all trial and error. Yeah, and remember, you want to attach most things and not group. But if it's a different color, you don't want to attach it. You just have to click make it and see what happens. And remember, undo. If you weld something, you cannot unweld it unless you undo right away. Before you weld something, thanks Veronica for subscribing. Before you weld, you might want to duplicate it. I hide things in the layers panel all the time. I'll duplicate it and hide it. Just so if I made a mistake and I decided I don't want it welded, I can go back to the unwelded version. What happened to adding of personal pictures to a font and being able to manipulate it? You can do that. Okay, let me show you real fast. Let's just start over here. This is the last thing I'm going to show you because I have Patreon to hang out with my supporters. Okay, this is a little different than it used to be. I have a video on how to do this, and it is different. So we're going to change this to print. And then we're going to click here and here, and we want to put a pattern in. Here's a picture of me in 8th grade with my brother. I must have been a freshman. He was graduating, and that's my little baby sister and our dog. Now, we put that picture in each thing. We can edit it, edit pattern, but it's going to put it for each letter. It used to not be this way. So what I have to do, get it a little bigger. What you have to do first, let's undo and make it go back. Okay. So we're changing it to print. First, we're going to weld it. So it's welded. Now we're going to add pattern. Add the picture. And although it looks like, click on the little picture and click edit pattern. Okay, see, now you can tell. It's not a very good picture, but you can see how the one picture is now, edit pattern. There's my brother. Now you can see how it's one picture per the whole word because we welded it first. Hold on, let me make it. I'm going to move these letters really close together. I'm going to ungroup to move this O over more. I'm going to weld I'm going to weld them. Hit color, hit pattern. It's my mom and dad's dog. Now it spread it out more towards, it's repeating itself because of the size of the word is so big. So I can go there and hit edit pattern, make it bigger, move this up. So you just have to weld it first. Patreon is a website where people can support other creators, and you get perks in exchange. So I share my Design Space files with the people who support me on Patreon, YouTube, and Facebook. Yay, Ronell! Thank you, Charmaine. We got 200 likes. Hey, Glenda. Yes, Leslie, they do. Yes, all these patterns are my own. I uploaded these pictures as patterns. These are my digital paper. These are just pictures. That's me. That's my son and my nephew and my niece and my niece and nieces and nephews. And then these are my digital papers. There's me, Sheila, and Michael. And it's repeating because the picture is smaller than the words. Look at them peeking through. Welcome, Candy. Okay, I think that's it. We have Patreon Hangout after this where everybody comes into video. Everyone who supports Patreon at $5 or more get to come out in video through a Zoom call. How did you upload photos and get them to fill? You click on upload. And you click on pattern fill. So you click browse and you choose a picture. This is a picture of our Chuck tour. You can change the name. I'll probably end up deleting this, but you can't edit it or anything. Just change the name. And you can choose these things so when they're in search. Thank you, Alicia. Now they don't show up here, but it will be up here. And it takes a while for the first time for it to show up usually. Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Ronald. So now it shows the picture that I just uploaded. It's kind of hard to see because of the image. Oh, wait. I need to edit that. Let me make it bigger. It's hard to see because this is white. Any picture can be uploaded as a pattern. Thank you, Rhonda. Okay, if you came in late, please watch from the beginning and you will learn a lot more. Sometimes you can watch and fast forward if you're watching on YouTube. And then when there's something that I show you, you could back it up and watch in regular speed. And if you really want to learn, watch what I do, pause the video, you go to Design Space, do exactly what I do, because the best way to learn is to actually do it. And then start the video again and try something new. You do not have to have a certain size picture, but if your picture is portrait and your word or image, it doesn't have to be words, you can do images. Like I've done the teddy bear that is wearing a t-shirt, I can just do the print and cut on the t-shirt and have it a patterned shirt. Or on Hello Kitty, we can change her clothes. You can do it to any image. You can have a dog, the shape of a dog. Oh, let's do that. Oh, we'll just do this. We could have it the shape of a dog or the shape of anything we want. We can change this to print. It says no fill, so we're going to change it to print. Then we're going to click on the thing here. We're going to choose this little arrow so we can change it to a pattern. Oh, and I don't have, oh, I should have a picture of my doggies. This is my mom's dog. We're going to edit pattern. I'm going to make it bigger. And we're going to move it horizontally. Okay, -5. See what happens. Oh, that's not very far. 200. Oh, it's gone. I don't know how big. There we go. Let's go up. There, he's peeking through. Let's go to 75. There he is. Moved over a little. So you could do that. And it would print this and cut this out. If you don't want each paw to cut out, I would do this. Change this to white. Okay, all this stuff's in my way, so I'm just gonna move it down here. We're gonna move that there. Arrange it to the front. You guys, I could do this stuff all freaking day. And I'm gonna select them both and flatten it. So it will just cut that circle out and then the paws. And you can make that a sticker with your dog on it. Yes, you can put a photo in a shape. Diana, that is a great question. Diana on Facebook says, can you do that on iPad? No, I'm so sorry. You cannot use patterns on iPad. I'm sorry. I forgot to mention that. I forget. Okay, raise your hand if you learned something today. I just raised my hand. I'm like, raise your hand if you learned something today. Yeah, Ronald gets carried. I lose track of time too. Yeah, and if your kids or grandkids like stickers, you can make their picture on a sticker of any shape you want. Time to go. Love you guys. And I'll see my supporters in just a few minutes. Bye.